I want to try now something else. Let's see what else we have in here. We haven't used a conic. This is pretty easy. Let's create ourselves another. Turn this off. Insert geometrical set. Conic, right? Let's make sure we get this conic. Let's put it into our test. Click OK. Let's go to the top view. Let's create a. Actually, let's build everything in a 3D mode. So let's create a line. Let's create some points. Let's go top view again, and I'm gonna create a point here. Click on a plane, a point here. Click on this plane. We'll click a point here, a point over here, and now we have 4 points in a 3D view. Let's click a line, a 3D line connected to those points. Click another line connected to these points, and let's go now to our conic icon. It's gonna ask us what's your support. So we always have to have a support or a surface. So if you don't have a surface, you can click on the plane. So on this plane, we're gonna be able to have our conic definition. So now it's gonna ask us for the start point. So let's say I want this to be my start point, then the end point, because it's gonna go this way. So this starts over here, it's gonna go and come back over here. So this is our end point. Then we need the tangents of the first point. So this is the first point, this is the first tangent, and the end point and the tangent is this guy. So this is our conic definitions. You can do it, move it whatever you need to get done. Okay, so that's our conic icon. It's pretty easy. Our next option, it's the spline. This is very easy. You just click on any 3D points that you have. In our case, this is a 2D sketch, but if you have anywhere points all over the 3D mode, this works pretty great. So the spline definition is very easy. Next is our helix. Okay, so let's pull up helix. Is going to be our next option. So let's turn this off. Let's insert another geometrical set. Helix. Let's insert it into our test. Let's make another sketch on the ZY plane. I'm going to create a line. Then I'm going to create a create a sketch. Let's give it a corner radius over here. Let's exit the sketch, and we have to make sure we separate those two, because this is going to be an axis. So let's click on this and go back over here to disassemble, and see we got 9 cells. We have to make sure that we don't need to split all this on all these pieces. So I wanted to have one domain, second domain. So actually I'm going to go here and I'm going to break it into 2. So I'm going to turn off the sketch, and I'm going to have curve number 1 and curve number 2, two different curves. Let's go now to our helix, and it's asking us for a starting point. So our starting point can be this over here. This is our axis, and we got a couple options you can choose from over here. We got pitch, height. So our pitch, let's say we want a 50 thou. So you see I already made it a little bigger. So right now I made it to 1 inch. What happened is, the reason you don't see it because this is 1.5 inches. So let's change it back again. Let's make our pitch 100,000, and let's give it a bigger dimension over here. Let's make this 2 inches. See the difference? But actually I want my helix, instead of going straight up, because this is a taper angle, so you can go, let's try 5 inches. I'm gonna make it 6 inches. Alright, so now this is a regular helix. We can put a profile to it. For now, let's try an angle. So if you change this to 11 degrees, we can have a taper to it. Or if you click on the profile, the one we just created, this is our helix right here, and we can change. If you go to the law over here, and let's put over here 2 inches. If you see right now the revolution, it's changed a little. So our pitch became 2, and our height it's 6 inches. So we can make this counterclockwise, clockwise. We can click on the S type, make 200,000 an end value. So right now we have a 1 revolution on the S type. We put 2 revolutions. Four revolutions. Let's go back, let's put it constant. So right now, instead of S type, we have a more constant. Let's change the pitch to 1/2 inch. So as you see, it's quite a bit of options you can choose from. So right now we're going clockwise, counterclockwise. Almost looks like a surface. Takes a little longer right now. It's got a lot of pitches. It's good for me. I'm taking a little break. I hope it didn't lock down. That's what I'm getting for playing too much. But anyway, So this is how I use this option. Most likely this option is used a lot on programming department for creating toolpaths with thread. And let's see what happened over here. Yeah, so I didn't lock down. I got lucky this time. Okay, so I promise, no more playing around, okay? Let's get back to business. Next is spiral. So let's create a quick spiral. Turn this off. Insert another geometrical set. Let's make sure we put it in the same folder with the test. Let's open a sketch and create a surface. We can go to fill and click preview. Automatically we got the surface. Change the color. Let's put a point on this surface. Let's click OK. And let's go to the spiral icon. Support. Let's click on the support. Let's click on our surface. Let's go to center point over here. Let's click on the radius ½ inch. Clockwise. Let's see what you're gonna do first. Let's give it a reference direction. Let's say you want to go on this direction on XY plane, and let's make it 22 revolutions. Let's make it a little bit bigger than that. I put 22 revolutions. We can change this to anything we want to. Let's go. So put angle and radius. We can put angle and pitch. So let's try 2 degrees, revolution 5, and pitch 0.2. So just play with it, see, whatever you think it's comfortable. So that's how you create a helix. I want to try next the spine options, which works through planes. Okay, so I want to build a couple curves in here, 3D curves. So I'm going to turn this up again, and I'm going to insert geometrical set in test. Okay, so let's go to top view again. Make sure we get the top view, and we're gonna build ourselves a little sketch in here because we want to make sure we get a 3D curve. Build a sketch first. Go back to the spline. Okay, let's get out of the sketch. So this is our top. Let's build another one over here. Build another sketch. Let's get out of here. And again, let's create a combine curve. So now we have a 3D curve over here. I'm going to turn off those two sketches. So this is, once again, we got, let me do normal to the view. So I got one sketch here, one sketch here, then I did combine view to get my 3D view. And I'm gonna control down and highlight those two things and turn them off. And I'm gonna create a couple points around this curve and then create some planes perpendicular to these points. And I want to go here. I'm gonna click on points repetition and let's call it maybe 5 times. Let's click over here and it's gonna ask us if you wanted to create it on a new body. We can click OK, and we got 5 points on our created right here. Those are points. Now we can create some planes perpendicular to those points in here. So let's go on the point and let's click on normal to the curve. So let's click on the curve, then on the point. Click OK. So it automatically snaps in the middle, but we can just click over here. I guess that is the middle right there. Let's click on the line, click on the plane, click on this point, and one more time. There we go. So every little plane right now is perpendicular to this point, the curve. And let's try the spline options. Go into this. Okay, let's change this to a better color. Oh, I can't change it. It doesn't let me change the color. Let's try to make it a little thicker. Okay, because the reason I changed this color right now, I don't know why it doesn't want to let me change it over here. I usually go here and change it, but see if it doesn't let you do that. Now it works. That's just weird. You can go right click, properties, or alt enter, and then change the color over here. And let's go back right now to our spine option. And this is our spine going through the planes. So just so you know, that's how this option works. Our next option is isoparametric curve. This requires a little bit more work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create some splines, and then I'm gonna create a multi-section surface, and I'm gonna try to connect all of them together. Then we're gonna go back over here, and we're gonna be able to use these options. So it requires some work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this off and open another folder like we always been doing so far. Let's name this beautiful. We want to go in the front view, and we want to open one sketch. Then we're gonna create some weird shapes. Sketches. So this is our number one sketch. What am I gonna do? Because I need to create a couple more sketches over here to create a multi-section. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this, move it over, and just edit those points in here, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So it saves me more work. So what I'm gonna do, let's say this. Let's copy. Let's make this main. Let's rename it to main sketch. And let's copy it and paste it down here. Sorry, let's rename it. So let's put section 1. Let's turn it back on. So now I have two parts in there. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to translate it over on X direction, so on this plane right here. So I'm going to take it and bring it over here. Let's make it 20 inches. Then watch, I'm going to do just double click on this guy. And I just changed the shape a little bit. So I'm gonna take this one now and tune it off. So I got a couple shapes, couple weird shapes in there. So we can do the same thing. We can take this section 1. We can copy it, paste it again. We can change it to section 2. Even though this is right here in the beginning, right? So we're gonna take this one, move it over. Let's make it 40. So let's make sure it's 40. So this is the translator. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just hide the translate to make sure you guys understand. This is the main. I'm gonna turn it off. This is the second one, which is good. I'm gonna just turn off just to make sure you guys understand. Okay, this right here, it's same as this, what I just translate over. Same shape. If I'm gonna edit this shape right here, which is this sketch, automatically it's gonna update my translate sketch because they link together. So see, I'm gonna hide this right now, and basically this is what I'm gonna edit. But with the moment I edit this, that's gonna update my translation. So I'm gonna just double click. That's gonna throw me back into the sketch mode. I'm gonna exit, and if I turn this on, it's automatically updated. So I'm gonna turn this off because it just it helps me. This is the good one, and this is the main. See the difference? And let's make maybe one more. So copy section number 1, paste it over here. So this is number 1. We're gonna rename it to 3. Okay, then we're gonna translate. So take section number 3, translate over 60. Let's keep it increment of 20. Click OK. Now the one that I'm going to edit is sketch 3, and automatically is going to update this. So let's go back, double click on the sketch. It's the one with the points. So let's come up with something more crazy. That looks pretty good. Now we're gonna hide this sketcher. So we got a multi-spline in here. Now we can go to multi-section surface. Just pick all of them. Go to preview. So we got the crazy surface in there. Now we don't need the sketches anymore, so we can tune them off. And this surface, we can chop it off a little bit. Let's give it a little bit of color. I hate that color, it's uncomfortable to work with. So now let's go back to the top view, create another section on top, another sketch on top, and on this sketch we're gonna create something crazy. Wow, that looks like a flower. I'm good at clicking this button right here. Okay, let's click, get the escape out of here. So what I want to do, I want to trim this bottom surface with this new sketch that I just created right now. So let's do extrude on this sketch. Let's make sure to lift that up a little bit. Okay, what about the bottom? Is it clear? Let's gotta bring it down a little bit to make sure we clean this area over here. So that looks pretty good. Okay, click OK over here. Now we can do a split option. We want to split this guy with this new surface that I just created. So as you see here, automatically is going to keep the inside only. Or if you keep both sides, it can do the same. You can keep both sides, but I just take this out. Or you can switch the sides also. See, right now I was going to keep the outside and delete the inside. So I'm going to click other side. I just want to keep only the inside. Okay, so we want to do that. Now if you want to, we don't need this anymore, we can tune that out. Let's change the color. If you want to trim this outside surface to this, you do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to show you even though we don't need to use it. So we're going to highlight this surface. Whatever you want to trim goes first. So we trim this first to the inside surface. And as you see right now, we got a profile. Okay, so that works pretty good, that option. And then if you want to cover the back over here, we can create another surface. So we can get the plane right now, we take a plane and we can move it to any of those points where it doesn't have a point. So in that case, we gotta create a point on any of those edges. Oh, let's cancel this. Make sure we click on the curve first and then click on the point. So now we're going to create a point on the curve. And if you click OK, now we have a point on the curve. So now I'm going to say I want to put this surface, this plane, parallel over here. So I'm going to say create me a plane, this to point. So now it's going to ask me for a point. Okay, once again. So this plane, there we go. So it's called parallel to a point. So we're going to create a plane parallel to a point, and the reference is going to ask us for this reference, how you want the plane to be, because we know this is parallel to this bottom over here, and you see letter Y, and then it's going to ask us for the reference point. So now if I create a huge surface over here, and I'm gonna do the fill option to fill it up, then I'm gonna be able to use the split. I want to split the surface with this profile, and now we kind of like fill it up, you know what I mean? So that's why we have to make sure when you create the point, you click on the reference. So once again, you know, plane parallel to a point. It's gonna ask us the reference. If you say your reference is this plane right here, and then you put the point in here, watch the difference. So it's gonna put us a point or whatever reference you just created. So we don't need that. Okay, let's turn this off. So let's get back to work. Okay, this surface, if you don't know what it's on the tree, you can do a right click and put center graph, and automatically it's going to show you that this is the surface. So this is the surface. I'm going to change the color, and if you don't know what the surface is at on the tree, you can do center graph, and automatically it's going to show you what it's at. Change the color, and I'm going to take this point with this. I'm going to hold the control key down, highlight both of them, and tune them both off. And this is what I wanted to show you, how to use this isoparametric option. You just click on it, click on the curve that you want it to go, and then see, now you get to see why I created so many weird surfaces. It's thinking. I hope it's not gonna lock down. Yeah, because it's split over there anyway. So this is how you take these options, and then you just get your point. It's kind of like a quick projection. That's why they call it isoparametric. So if you do a top view right now, yeah, we're working backwards. So if you do a top view right now, you can say that this line, it's parallel with our plane, but basically it's like a projection. So it's like a quick projection thing, you know, like quick and dirty. So click on the surface and snap it whatever you need it to go with, and just move it around. Once again, isoparametric curve, click on the surface, and whatever looks good, just move it around till you're satisfied with your projection. I don't know if my sample looks pretty good, but that's how you use this option. And a no-show, look how much garbage I have in here. Everything that we just created, it's in here. But because we're nice and organized, now we know exactly where everything is. Okay, Let's see what else we have here.